Hi everybody, welcome to Scotch Kitchen. I hope you're fine. I'm fine, thank you. Another Saturday, we're here to prepare some lovely meals. So today I'm going to show you how I clean my tilapia fish. I'm preparing it for grilling. So first of all, what I tend to do is to just make sure that I first wash them. As you can see, I've actually literally soaked them in that water. And what I tend to use as well to wash, I use some lemon. And so I use one lemon for washing, and then I use the other lemon when I'm actually seasoning it. You need some salt as well. And today our spice of choice is spicy earth. So this is the spice I'm using, which is spicy earth. I hope you're able to see that. Spicy earth is available on our website, which is africanscotchkitchen.com. You can be able to find that. But because I'm doing a lot of fish, I've actually done a big portion of my spices. So I have my spices here, which is spicy earth and some salt. Then I'm going to use some oil. Previous video I explained to you, as long as you're seasoning any type of meat or fish, you need some oil, because even though fish is oily or meats are oily, the spices will dry up the meat. That's why you need the oil to help in with moisturizing the meat. Yeah, so I'm going to go straight ahead and I'm going to start preparing this fish. I'm going to start washing it. So I have about 5. So what I tend to do is when the fish comes, it's actually scaled. But what I tend to do as well, I just get a small knife. I have a small knife here, and I just go with that knife again to just make sure that the fish is actually scaled. With tilapia fish, when you're preparing this, you have to be very, very careful. The main reason why you have to be very careful is because of the bones, yeah? You don't want to be poked, or you don't want a fish bone stub, because that is not really nice. It's painful, by the way. It is very, very painful. Some people don't like the bones completely. Some people tend to cut off the bones out of the fish. I tend to leave the fish as whole as possible. I'm going to run my water at the same time. I hope you're able to hear me, and you can actually be able to see the fish. Some people tend to remove the bones completely when they are actually doing this process. I don't do that, yeah? I don't do that at all. Actually, what I'm going to do now, because I've realized, because again, another funny thing about fish, they actually can absorb water. So I'm going to drain off this first water. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove them out of this bucket. Make sure your sink is definitely clean when you're doing this. And I'm going to start pushing them on one side, and I'll be running water when I'm cleaning it. So you start with the inside part of the fish. Just make sure that it's properly cleaned, that there's nothing. Most of the time we have guts for the fish. Make sure you remove all that, because not everybody likes the guts, yeah? Some people actually eat that, which is okay, but not everybody eats that, yes? Some people don't like the fins, I always cut this part off. You're going to see me doing that. I'm going to do that anyway. I'm going to cut that off completely, and almost there, and there you go. So you cut that off completely, because again, I don't see any essence of that. Some people like it with that, yeah? Some people like it with that, but for me, I tend to just find myself completely removing it, so that it can be bare. Some people don't like the head of the fish. I don't understand, because that's actually the best part of the fish, the head of the fish. That's the sweetest part of the fish. That's where the actual brains are. Yeah, that's where the mother is. So some people don't. This one, they've actually removed the gills. As you can see, there's no gills at all. So just make sure that it's completely clean. And remove as much scales. As you can see, I'm trying to remove as much scales as possible. Another thing with fish, especially tilapia fish, when you are cleaning it, make sure you are stroking it from the top going down. You don't want any injuries. If you stroke it the opposite way, you see these bones here, they're gonna poke you, and it's not a nice feeling. You will feel a little bit pain now, but then later it's going to be too much, because it's never a nice feeling at all. So that's the first one. I'm just going to make sure that I drain it there. You see, there's still some of that lovely stuff from the inside the fish. Just make sure all that is gone. Yeah, make sure all that is out completely. Make sure all that is out. There's still a little bit more there. Gone. Okay, and when you're doing this, make sure you're using cold water. Don't use lukewarm water, because again, fish cooks really quick. You're not cooking the fish, we're just cleaning the fish. Yeah, so that is done, and I'm going to put it directly onto my, I have chopping board. I'm going to put it directly on a chopping board. And then what I've also realized now of late in regards to the fish, I don't know if the fish have also gone for like a vacation or something. Every time these days I'm buying the fish has actually reduced in size. They're a bit smaller. So I'm saddened, because I'm going to show you guys, they're all coming from like the same pack, but some of them, they're meant to be exactly the same sizes and everything. Some of them, like this one I am doing now, is really tiny, but unfortunately somebody's going to get this. It's something that I can't do anything about, unfortunately, because I can't buy, you'll never get all of them the same size, exactly the same size. That's the sad part about it. So that, compared to this one, this is the big sister, and that is like the other sister. Yeah, so put that on as well. Okay, we forgot to do one thing on that, which is cutting the fins. So I'm going to go there and cut that off completely. Oh, and let me show you guys how I do it. So I hope you're able to see that. So you just turn it around, and at the edge of your knife, there is like is the end part of it. Just be careful and just cut that off completely. So that's what I'm going to do. As you can see, fins, you know, how do you call it? The gills, the scales. Those tiny things, sometimes they can get really annoying, especially this part of the fish. Just take your time and make sure that they're completely off. Yeah, so these ones are very lovely, because this times around they've taken off the gills. That is also another nice part of the fish, where many a times you will question, why did they remove that? They're not supposed to be removed that. But again, not everybody likes that part. So many people who don't know the sweetness of the fish, yeah, they don't know the sweetness of the fish. I come in a province where fish is like our staple food, so I know how nice fish can be, and that's why. And my mom used to prepare fish as well, so I learned a lot about preparing fish by watching. My dad used to do it as well. So I learned so much from them too, how to clean it and things like that, how to be careful where to touch the fish, where not to touch, so that you don't actually end up with any sores. Because anyway, those bones, they are not a joke, my friend. They are not a joke at all. So as you can see, these ones, this set that I bought, they actually removed every part of the inside part, which makes your work even much easier. Because when we used to buy fresh fish, fresh from the ocean, not from the ocean, from the lake, yeah, when it comes out, you start with the scales, you remove the scales. So you will use a small knife basically, and you will go like that, and you will remove the scales all over it completely, on these other ends, on here. You make sure it's come out on here, you make sure it's all come out, and then you will take your knife and you will cut. As you see, they've already cut it for you, so you will cut this part to be able to remove all the stuff that are inside the fish. You wash these parts inside here, there's always some gills in there. This one has actually been removed to make it much your work much easier. Yeah, so you will do that, and then you will remove the intestines as well, and then you will continue doing exactly like that. But again, the fish then used to be really big. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if the fish are also going on diet around here or something. That's why you don't get as big a fish. But again, I won't lie to you, just before COVID, the fish were bigger. Just before COVID. So I don't know what has actually happened with but again, if you think about this, global warming is also something that is really affecting the animals as well. The animals as well. Oh, they're actually not 5, it's actually 6. So 4, 5, 6. Yeah? Global warming is also one of the main things that is actually affecting not only humans but also other animals, because humans, we pollute the waters with our rubbish. Yeah, if you don't recycle, you should be ashamed of yourself. You don't recycle, you should be really ashamed of yourself. Recycling is good. You need to recycle, because what happens if you don't recycle, most of this rubbish is being dumped in the ocean, and with time you can see now it has actually started affecting the creatures that live inside there. Yeah, so you should learn how to recycle, because it actually goes a long way, a long way. Yeah, so this is the last one, and this one is actually a lighter one. She's really light in her family, because we're preparing, this is tilapia fish, if you didn't know. It is a type of fish that is also, you can find this on the lake. I don't know if you can find it in the ocean, but apparently you could maybe. They can also be, you can breed them. You can breed them at home, because there are some people who actually breed fish. That's the way you can breed chicken. So they have like sort of like ponds, and they actually do fish farming. It's actually really lucrative, especially like the way exactly I've just explained to you about the global warming. It's actually an industry which is really lucrative. Yes, they find fish, tilapia, but to me, yes, it tastes like tilapia, but to me it's not really tilapia, because yes, it has grown in water, because they've all done the thing that tend to try and do, because it's actually grown in water. I'm putting this here so that you can be able to see what I'm doing now. So I'm cutting off this. It's grown in water, yes, but the question is that really its natural habitat? No, that's not its natural habitat. So again, lake water fish and those ones that are breeded in the when people are doing fish farming, if you ask me, they taste different. They taste different, because if you know, you've actually tasted the fish that are growing or come from the local habitat, you can be able to see the difference, or you can be able to taste the difference. Yeah, so I'm actually just removing the gills only. Everything else is going to remain, so that one I'm going to remove as well. Everything else is going to remain. This time when you're doing this, yeah, again, you need to be very careful. If you see any scale, this is the time you actually need to remove it. Yeah, because we are grilling this fish. If you are frying this fish, you will need to do this and let the fish drain, completely drain. The main reason why you'll have to do that is because when you're deep frying, remember you're using hot oil. Yeah, and if the fish has a little bit of water or some water, that is why you find when you're frying your fish, it sticks. Yes, it sticks, because water and oil, they are not sisters, innit? Because they are not sisters, they don't agree with each other. It's like nobody wants to be in another one's space. So when your fish is cooked and it is not completely dry, you're going to have it sticky. It's going to be sticky. No matter what you do, it's going to stick and then it's going to break. So always remember to dry your fish completely. I know you're looking at me and you're thinking, so if I just want to cook it as soon as I clean it, what do I do? This is what you need to do. You get some salt. Before I get some salt, first of all, you get a small knife like this one, which I am going to quickly rinse off. You get a knife and you get your fish. I hope you're able to see, because I was trying to find like a surface where I can be able to do this and you guys are able to actually see it properly. You can get a bigger knife as well, so I have both of them. This process you can use any knife, a smaller one or a bigger one. And now you want to slice your fish. The whole idea of you slicing your fish, it helps with the cooking. It's just like the way I did it with the chicken. Yeah, when you slice it like this, it actually helps. We are not cutting it completely. You are just making these ridges, as you can be able to see. We are making those ridges because those ridges help the fish to actually cook quick. And you're going to see, because I'm going to use spicy earth, that is also going to help with the spices getting into the fish. Yeah, so I'm doing this holding it, but you're supposed to put it like in a surface like this, and it's going to be a little bit faster. That was me using a bigger knife. Now you can use a smaller knife. Yeah, and when you're using a smaller knife, it's much faster and quicker. As you can see here, I've just done that on a board. Yeah, be very careful when you're doing this as well, because remember, we are not cutting the fish, we're just charring it a bit. Yeah, you're making those kind of marks on the fish. And the whole idea of this, when you're also about to deep fry them, this helps with the draining of the water, which we are going to do. I'm going to show you how you actually drain off the water. Some people tend to take kitchen towel and they wipe off the fish. Yes, you can use that if you're not patient enough, but I wouldn't advise you to do that. That is not my way. I don't like using the kitchen towel on food that is not cooked, because I am just paranoid. But I see people doing it, so I'm not telling you not to do it because it's bad. You can do it if you wish, but personally I will not advise it. So you can go ahead and do it, but don't say, I had Scotch saying she can do that. No, I'm not doing that. Yeah, so cut off that one already has a bit of a braise, which did that itself. And last but not least, we have this baby here, and you do exactly the same thing. Yeah, fish needs patience, because we've spoken about the bones. Again, another thing, some people were wondering, how are you going to hold the fish so that it doesn't sleep? The eyes, you see there, that's all. That's how you can hold the fish so that it doesn't hurt you in any way. Even when you're about to put it in the oil, you put it in like that, holding the top. Some people tend to hold it like this. I don't agree with this, because it can slip. You saw that? It can slip. But if you hold it like this, you see my fingers are inside the eyes. So I've hooked them there. Poor fish. I've hooked them. Don't stop making me feel guilty. I've hooked them in there, yeah? Like that. And when you're dipping it in, it is much, much easier. Hi everybody, thank you so much for joining. I hope you're enjoying this lovely quick lesson. Yeah, so when I'm doing this, I am holding, I'm going to show you, you can hold it like that, you put it down and you cut. Yeah, when you are ready to fry it, that has gone all the way around here, you dip it and it cooks. Avoid doing because it can slip, and if it slips, the oil is going to splash on you. We don't want that in the kitchen. We are avoiding accidents. So the interesting part, so we have our fish all ready. I always try to make sure I do all of them at a time. I don't want to do some and then leave some. I want everybody to feel this love. Yeah, I want everybody to feel. There are 6, so it's a bit of a woo. Okay, I think that's okay. Yeah, so this is how it looks. I hope you're able to see, but I'll just raise it up for you guys to be able to see. Yeah, now because we have it that way, washing my hands really quick. Salt. Salt helps with the quick drainage of water. Salt absorbs. It helps with the absorption of water. And that's why you see, if you have snails, yeah, those slimy creatures, when they are sliming around in your garden or anything, use salt. And if you put salt on them, you're going to see them squishing and getting off there. So salt is the best thing that you can use, and it's going to help you to drain all that water. Either if you're grilling, like the way I'm grilling now, if you're frying, you can do exactly the same. Yeah, so if you're frying, do this at least 30 minutes before. Yeah, do this at least 30 minutes before, and you're going to actually achieve something really great. Because I am grilling, I am going to go ahead and turn on my oven. Preheating the oven is very important. You preheat it before you actually start preparing your meal. So as I've got to this stage, I know that I am about, there's a bit of darkness here. Let's turn a bit of light. There you go. I know I am about to get on with it and finish the process. So I've started preheating my oven, even though I'm grilling. So I'm preheating my grill because I need the fish to start cooking at a certain temperature, not from 0. I need it to start cooking at about 180 degrees. When you want your food to start cooking at an exact temperature, you preheat your oven. If you want your food to cook from 0, so that means you'll need another 30 or 20 or 15 minutes for the food to continue cooking. That's when you don't preheat. But always preheat your oven, your grill, wherever you're cooking, you have to preheat it. On that box thing that you use, you have to preheat so that you can start cooking at the right temperature. Okay? Next, remember we have our spices here. I told you the spice of choice today is spicy up. Just exactly the same thing that we did with our chicken the other day. We are going to do exactly the same thing with our fish today. Before we do that, before I forget, get your lemon, and we're going to squeeze this lemon. So, you see the way it soaked my fish prior? When you soak, you can soak like that. You can use a lemon to soak your fish like that. And then, when you're washing away that lemon. This helps with the reduction of flies. If you're somewhere where it's really hot, I am really lucky today it's not hot. So I don't have any insects or things flying around. So it is actually okay. Adds the flavor. Apart from it adding the flavor, it actually removes the smell. Because yes, fish has a smell. Lemon helps with getting rid of the smell. So squeeze. You've seen I've used 6 pieces of fish with just a small lemon. Yeah, 6 pieces of fish with a small lemon, half on one side and half on the other side. That's all you need. Yeah, let's wash our hands quickly. There's going to be a lot of washing my hands here because now is where the exciting part comes in. Spices. When you're spicing up, always add a bit of oil. So I have my oil on this bowl and I have my spices on this bowl. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, this fish is actually in a very nice position that I don't want to interfere with it, so I'm going to just keep on carrying and showing you guys. Get your spice, mix your spice the way you want to mix it, because I have a mixture here of spicy up available on our website africanscotchkitchen.com. and my oil, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a paste. So I am going to add the spices on the oil to make a lovely paste. I'm going to make a lovely paste. I was just getting one of those brushes that you need. So let's make our paste. I hope you're able to see that. At the time, you know, our fish are actually marinating on that lemon and salt, draining off all that water. Yeah? This actually is going to make our fish really dry, but we don't want it too dry. So I'm gonna add a little bit over. This process actually is good because, you know, it saves you a lot of time because you are doing a lot of fish. If you're doing 1 or 2 fish, it's so easy. Just go ahead and use the Scotch spicy herb directly with a sprinkle. But if you've realized, because I have put the spice on the side, I am not using it directly with the thing, it's going to be less cleaning. Yes, this is less cleaning because you're not touching so many things. So far we just touched our 2 bowls and our 2 spoons, that the dry one and the wet one, and then we're going to use our brush to apply this spice on it. Yeah, there you go. So you can see it's really nice and thick. That's the consistency you need. It's almost like a baby food or porridge. Yeah, so get your lovely brush, you dip your brush, and we're going to start applying it on the fish. So what I'm going to do, I am going to lift these babies up as I go. So you're able to see that I'm lifting it up, and all I'm doing is I'm applying this marinade. It's almost just like painting. When I was growing up, or when I went to high school, I did art and design. I love artistic stuff. So this is really into my garden, or my age, or where I love most painting. So when you're spreading this spice, just make sure you spread the spice everywhere. That's why you need to make enough. Yeah, everywhere. Just take your time. As you can see, I'm holding the fish by the eyes. Make sure you're spreading all this everywhere. Yeah, then you don't place it there. Get your baking tray or wherever you're using ready. So mine is there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring it closer, so don't worry. What you're going to do, I hope you're able to see that. You can see that the spice is everywhere on it, and I am going to start placing our fish on there. I'm going to do the second one so that you guys can be able to see. When you're spreading, you marinate, yeah? Just make sure it goes inside. You know those lines we made? Make sure that all the spices goes inside those lines. Take your time. Enjoy this process, because this is the love. You know, when I say homemade meals are made with so much love, this is so much love. If we were doing like the way they do it in the restaurant, all these are going to be put in one tumble. We're going to pour the mixture, and we're just going to have something that spins it while it mixes it. Yeah, there's no love, because it's just for a group, a whole group. But homemade meals, they are made with love. Look how much I'm loving this fish. Yeah, and as you can see, okay, let me turn it this other way. Inside there, the spice and the marinade is actually in there. Yeah, because that is what we need. Put it in there as well. Okay, I'll have to find a way, because I want all my fish to be cooked in one rather than 2 different portions. I'll have to arrange them. Nothing to worry about. Let's do to the next one as well. And again, you're doing exactly the same thing that you've just done with the others, but all you have to remember is patience. Patience. That's all you have to remember. Yeah? So you can see, holding it by the eye helps a lot. It's not cumbersome. And this process, as you can see, it's just like when you're painting, it's messy. It's really messy. That's why I like doing this process next to the sink, because when it comes to cleaning, it's going to be much easier. Yeah, when it comes to cleaning, I am not going to really be suffering with the cleaning or anything. It's going to be much easier. Okay, so do the same to all the fish, which I'm going to do that. Give them all that love and attention, each one of them. As you can see, when I'm doing this side, I'll show you guys how to turn it. When I'm turning it, you place it down and turn it around, and you hold the other way around. Yeah, so you put some on this other side. I was just showing you how to turn it around, and you put the marinade on the other side. Be patient, there's no rush. When you want to cook this kind of tilapia, make sure you have plenty time. Yeah, just make sure you have a little bit of time to do this, because you want to really enjoy it, because you have to enjoy preparing it. You have to enjoy when you're cooking it as well, and you'll have to enjoy it when you're actually cooking it. These are for my customers today, and that's why I'm really paying 100% attention. I pay attention to everything to make sure that they actually enjoy this. Yeah, but at least you are able, you've had an opportunity to see how I actually prepare the fish. So how I season it, how I clean it, and then we're going to see how we actually put it in the oven to bake. Yeah, so I have a bit of space for one more. It's a push, but it's going to fit because it's just a tiny one. As you can see, she's just the baby. The baby of them all is the one that is left. So I'm sorry for this customer, because it looks like really tiny, and you know, now this one is going to make you want to order more than one. Yes, you order more than one so that you can be lucky next time. When you order more than one is tiny and then the other one is really big, you are like, yes, that is me winning the jackpot. So there you go, and that is going to go in here. So now this is that time when you start doing the patterns. Now if you didn't learn any patterns, this is when you start praying to your God that you should have paid a bit of attention when they were teaching patterns. So 1 second guys, I want to show you guys how we are looking at. So this is how it looks. I hope you're able to see that. It looks amazing. And I've actually just tried to put it inside there in a way that they are balanced. This is another thing. I've actually put a mesh at the bottom, and then that's when I use my oven tray. Because I'm grilling this, when you're grilling, you have a lot of heat, and I want my fish to remain moist. What I'm going to do, some people put foil pepper. I don't do foil pepper. I put water. So inside the bottom, because remember there's a wire mesh that is holding the fish up, then there is a bit of space in there. So what I do, I tend to add water at the bottom, just enough water. Yeah, so what's going to happen now when I put this fish in the oven to start grilling? Yeah, the juiciness is going to flow onto my water, but the water is going to form some steam, and the steam is going back in my fish, and my fish is going to remain moist. That is the secret. Yeah, so because I have a little bit of marinade here still, what I'm going to do, I am still going to braise it on the top, the fish that are at the top. Hope you're able to see that. Don't worry, my lovely, I'm going to bring the camera closer for each person, Facebook and Instagram, to be able to come and see our creation. Yeah, so if you bear with me 1 second, I'm gonna wash my hands really quick because I'll have to touch the phone, right? And because I have to touch the phone, I want my hands to be clean when I'm touching the phone. So if you just bear with me 1 second before I show you guys what we've actually done so far. So this is going to go in the oven, and we're just going to observe it. Today I'm going to tell you how long I've actually put it in the oven for. It's at 180 degrees. Don't go more than 180 degrees because any heat above 180 degrees is gonna be too hot. We don't want too hot, yeah? We just want right, because you want this fish to cook really nice and slow. That's the whole idea of it, yeah? Who wants to come first? Let's start with your Instagram, yeah? We are not biased, but let's just start with you. So, there you go. You can see that's our fish. And just below it there, you can see the water. So this is going to go in the oven at 180 degrees. Yeah? You can see all the marinade inside there. It looks really, really appetizing, right? Hi, everybody. Yeah, so you guys come back there. Now let's get these other ones, yes? So that they don't feel lonely or they don't feel that they're not being loved. So there you go. There you go. That's our fish. As you can see there, you can see all the marinade and you can see the water. There's some water at the bottom. And it's going into the oven at 180 degrees until it is actually cooked. So guys, I hope you've actually enjoyed that quick one, yeah? So the next, I have to go now because let me put this one first and then we say our goodbyes, right? Because we need that. So my oven is all definitely preheated and it is ready to go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my fish and it's going to go inside. It's going inside in a bit, but I want it to go right in the middle here. So I have to move this at the bottom and that is going to go right in the middle. Yeah? You want it right in the middle. You don't want it below and you don't want it at the top. At the top and below in the oven is always very hot. So you want it right in the middle so that both the heat that is coming from the top and below, because I've done the double-sided, my grill is double-sided. If you have a grill that is not double-sided, put it still in the middle. It will cook the top part. Then after a few minutes, you can actually be able to see the fish turning a little bit golden brown because as well of the spices. It's going to have a very lovely color. And what you need to do is turn the fish around. Be very careful. It has to be golden brown. If it is not golden brown, my friend, leave the fish alone. Because if you try and turn the fish when it is not golden brown, it is going to stick on the mesh that is at the bottom. And you're going to be there trying to, and that's it. You won't have that lovely coloring on the both sides. Make sure it's golden brown before you turn it around so that it can cook the other side as well. That is if your oven doesn't have the double-sided, yeah? Otherwise, let our fish cook. Then we're going to come back a little bit later when I'm actually preparing the greens. Yes, I have some greens to prepare. So I'm going to show you guys really quick how to prepare the greens. For now, I have to clean. That's why I'm going. I would have stayed here. But because I've just prepared fish, I have to clean this whole place. And when I'm cleaning, these phones cannot be here because water is going to be splashing and things like that, yeah? So guys, bear with me. I'll see you again maybe in about 20 to 30 minutes time. And let's go on and prepare our greens. And hopefully I'll be able to show you the fish. By then maybe it will have started cooking, but 30 minutes is a very, very short time. But again, I'll just show you whatever we have then, right? So for now, take care of yourself. Thank you very much for supporting Scotch Kitchen. Remember to share, to like our page. You can visit our website, which is africanscotchkitchen.com. If you want us to prepare your meal, we are available on 07851401189. You have to pre-order by Friday because as you can see, we prepare our food from fresh. We do not prepare food like that has stayed I don't know how many days from fresh. So you have to let us know what you want by Friday so that we can prepare ourselves. Then Saturday, it's good to go. If you have a party, you can always call us at least 2 weeks in advance and we'll be able to sort you out. When you chill with your mates, chill with your family, and we just sort out your meals. That is 2 weeks in advance. That's it. Take care of yourself. I'll see you again in a bit. Bye-bye.